you know what is what?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is Shape of the Living Dead.
Ugh. Man, speaking of movies, did we start getting into this one? This movie was interesting.
Anger movie?
I mean, like, I didn't hate the movie, but like, I don't know if I necessarily liked it either. All right, let's get started.
Edge City Productions. That's what I do at nighttime. Take myself to Edge City.
Oh,
Damn. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cult of the Living Dead. This week, we are covering the 1984 sci-fi movie Repo Man. I am your host, The Dale, followed by my two co-hosts, Mr. Saya.
Let's do some crimes.
And Twan.
yo, what up? What up?
Just
What
a
up?
quick reminder for first-time listeners, we are a cult movie podcast. We cover cult classics, B-movies, and horror. All these opinions are subjective. None of us are academically trained in film critique, but we all love movies. So, enjoy the ride. All right, guys. Repo Man. So this movie was a 1984 kind of weird sci-fi movie. It's very fucking 80s. It kind of reminded me of They Live.
Yeah.
Yeah, like has that same kind of style, which is another cult classic horror movie if you guys haven't seen it. It's directed by Alex Cox. I haven't really seen any of his stuff, but he did Sid and Nancy. It's a bio movie about Sid Vicious and his girlfriend Nancy. Seekers 2.0 and the Oxford Murders. But he wrote Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which is interesting.
That's crazy.
And this movie,
that's pretty cool.
All the other movies he's directed.
Did he also write this movie, or he wrote
this one.
He wrote this one.
He
Yeah.
wrote this one.
What a jump. Well, I guess also Fear and Loathing is more of like a biopic. So
yeah, because he wrote Sid and Nancy, which is also a biopic.
Yeah.
The Fear and Loathing was also a book.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's more of an adaptive screenplay, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is his like real, like this is the shit that he thinks of when he's sitting on the toilet. So this is wild.
Well, I had read that he created a comic like as the storyboard for this movie. So it was like a comic before it was a screenplay.
Nice.
I could see this movie working as a comic. It has kind of that feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really like fantastical kind of just.
And then the way it jumps scenes sometimes, like they're like, there's not like great transitions. Like they're doing something, boo, now they're doing something completely different. Oh, now it's nighttime.
Yeah.
There's a lot of filler scenes too. It's just like a scene with like one or two lines and then it'll cut to something else.
Yeah, that does happen a lot.
This is also our second week in a row where we watched a European directed sci-fi movie.
Oh, Alex Cox was he English?
Yeah.
He is English.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
And it's in LA again. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it is an LA movie. LA covers the LA punk scene, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. 6th Street Bridge makes a bunch of appearances.
Yeah,
it does. It does. Wait, don't you mean the 4th Street Bridge though? Or did they destroy the 6th Street Bridge and then they made the new one, right?
Yeah, they destroyed it. So that what we saw in the theater in the movie is
6th Street Bridge.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that anymore.
The one we grew up going on.
Yeah.
The music was by Tito Lariva, but he has a different name in this movie. And Steven Hufstetter, I guess these guys work a lot together. They were on the Mexico trilogy together. So from Dusk Till Dawn, Desperado. They weren't on El Mariachi, so I guess they're on the latter two. They're both on Machete. I think they work with Alex Rodriguez a lot.
Nice.
That's cool.
The cast stars Harry Dean Stanton, who plays Bud. He's most known for Alien, The Green Mile.
I like that last week. Wasn't last week where what's his name was from Alien 2? I'm forgetting his name. He's the android.
Oh, Bilbo?
Oh yeah, he is Bilbo. I completely forgot. I like that we've covered movies
Oh,
where
yeah.
alien actors have been in it. At the same time, Alien just came out as well. So just a plug for all of that. Go watch Alien.
Ian Holm.
Ian Holmes. Yeah.
It's
Nice.
Cornelius. And we have Otto, played by Emilio Estevez himself. So the Mighty Ducks, Breakfast Club. He's in Young Guns. He's also the brother of Charlie Sheen.
What?
And the oldest son of Martin Sheen.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez are brothers. It's just Emilio
No
Estevez.
way.
He took his mom's last name, and Charlie Sheen took his dad's last name.
Mhm.
Wow.
Dude, they look very
They
similar.
look the same.
Blew my
yeah.
mind. Do they? I don't
Yeah, I
think
remember.
so.
Well, if you look at them when they're young, Charlie Sheen looks like absolute fucking dog shit now.
Yeah. Well, now.
But when they were both in the 80s, I remember asking my dad, I'm like, are they related? And he's like, yeah, this is his brother. They just have different last names because Emilio Estevez took his mom's last name. I was like, what the fuck? Charlie Sheen's Mexican?
Interesting.
And then we
Never
have
knew that.
Miller, played by Tracy Walker. He was in City Slickers, Conan the Destroyer. Layla, played by Olivia. Oh, go ahead.
He's also from the Batman movie with the Joker. I'm blanking out on names right now. The original Joker from
Jack Nicholson?
Jack
Oh,
Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson.
He's the Joker's henchman in that movie.
Oh yeah, I saw that he was like
Nice.
Joker's henchman, and I was just like, what? Which guy? That doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna backtrack, but Harry Dean Stanton, he was also in Avengers.
What?
He made a
Who?
small cameo when the Hulk crashes into that warehouse, and he's like, he looks up through the ceiling. He's like, "What the fuck?" He has a broom. He's like just some
That's right.
random
That's right.
janitor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's in Harry Dean Stanton's in a lot of good shit.
yeah. I didn't
Worked with, like,
realize.
Francis Ford Coppola, he's worked with a lot of really good actors.
Yeah, apparently he was a little prima donna in this movie.
Yeah, he was a little bitch on set in this movie, dude. Like, damn. I thought Bud was the best character in this movie. I like Bud.
That
Yeah,
was cool.
So then we have Layla, played by Olivia Barash. Go ahead, Matt.
I liked
is.
what's his name? Light. I like Light.
Oh.
Played by Cy Richardson.
Yeah.
He was also in Sid and Nancy. They Live. He was on the TV series Pushing Daisies. Dude, I couldn't find their names. But the Rodriguez brothers, they play like a really big role in this movie, and I couldn't find the name of the actors.
I'll try to find it.
But they were good. The Rodriguez brothers were like,
yeah, they were cool.
they're in a lot. There's a lot of Mexican representation in this film.
It's LA.
It's because it's in LA.
I like that though. How many movies have you seen in LA where there's actually not that many Mexicans in the movie? It's like there's not that many white people in LA. At least not on the non-West side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Layla, played by Olivia Barash. She was in Fame, Tough Turf. She hasn't been in a lot of stuff.
The Rodriguez brothers are played by Del Zamora and Eddie Velez.
Oh, nice. Nice. The Rodriguez brothers are cool.
Yeah. They come through.
All right. Should we get into like our first like impressions or what do you do about this movie going into it?
Oh, random fact. All the characters are named after beers. Or
Yeah,
like all the
except
Repo
for
Men.
Otto.
Yeah.
Otto's the only one that's not.
Bud, Miller, and Light.
So
Did you say
Bud,
the
Miller, Light,
you
who's
said the
other guy?
music?
Yeah, I said the music.
Okay.
So this was all of our first time watching this movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of this movie.
I don't know how it got on the list.
I think we were at the beginning. We were just looking at like lists of what cult classics were, and it's on a lot of.
It's on a lot of lists. Yeah.
A lot of lists. It's considered like one of the best cult classics ever made, I guess. I think I saw one list had it at like number 7 in the top 50. So I was like, oh, okay. So I think that's how it got on. I'd never heard of it. I like Emilio Estevez and I like Harry Dean Stanton as actors. Although my admitted experience with Emilio Estevez is just like The Breakfast Club and Mighty Ducks. But
Yeah.
That is him. Fuck.
Those are formative movies, I guess.
God damn.
First impressions, I was not expecting this movie to have like the backdrop of like 1980s punk culture in LA. I did not expect that at all from this movie.
Yeah.
So that was interesting, and how that kind of played into the story of the film. It was very much like a part of the story. I don't know. What about you, Twan?
What about me? Um, I don't know, man. The only thing I knew about this movie was the trailer that we saw for it. I have more questions than answers after watching the movie.
That's funny. What about you, Sarah?
I didn't know anything going into this either, other than the fact that it's on lists. It's a well-renowned cult classic movie. All I know is Dean San and Emilio Estevez. That's kind of it. And then first impression, there's so many quotable lines in this movie. It's pretty fucking hilarious. Also
Yeah,
have also have a lot of questions.
There's a lot of one-liners for sure.
There's so many one-liners.
Excuse me while I fold my pants.
It happens sometimes. People just explode.
That shit is funny. That's funny. Oh man! All right, should we start getting into the movie?
Yeah,
Take us there.
let's eat some sushi and not pay.
That was
Hey.
funny. That was funny. I was like, how LA are they? Even the punks like sushi.
Yeah,
Let's go eat some sushi and not pay. Hey, that punk chick, I was digging it with the mohawk though.
oh yeah.
Debbie?
I'd let her
Got another
prime
one.
me.
Hey, Fletch, coffee break?
Oh shit.
The more you drive, the less intelligent you are.
Yeah. What
What
about
does
our
that mean?
relationship?
Fuck that.
What relationship?
That chick was the Layla character was interesting.
Yeah,
She was
she like
was something
immediately
else.
flips and just becomes a fucking plant.
Yeah.
She was just pro alien, dude. That's all she cared about.
Yeah, I guess that too.
All right, before we get into the wild fucking plot of this movie, the movie opens up with this like punk song playing in the background, and us looking at this like neon green like map. I think it's showing where the scientist guy's driving from, and then him ending up in LA, right? That's what it's supposed to like depict.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that song, the main theme for this song, was written by Iggy Pop.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Iggy Pop is from the Stooges. If you don't know who Iggy Pop is, he's the guy that like famously like cuts himself when he like performs. He's a fucking maniac. I guess
What the
Alex,
fuck?
yeah, like he'll claw his, it'll be like bleeding.
Show
while
us.
he's like
Show us.
fucking performing and shit.
Do it, dude.
But yeah, see, clawing my chest. I did a lot of that in the last episode because the audio format. The audience can't see what I'm doing. Yeah, Iggy Pop's a maniac. But
Damn, that's crazy.
if you want to listen to a cool like podcast on Iggy Pop, there's a podcast I like called No Dogs in Space, and they do a 3-episode thing on Iggy Pop and the Stooges. It's pretty informative. They're fucking wild. It's crazy how broke really famous bands can be at times because they just do so much partying.
Yeah. Can imagine.
But I guess Alex Cox personally like went to Iggy Pop's apartment and like asked him to do the song, and Iggy Pop was like, "Yeah, I need the money, so I'll do it." But he liked it because I guess Cox was like, "Do whatever you want, like whatever you come up with, like you have full creative freedom." So this is what he came up with.
I was riding on a concrete slab down the river of a useless lab. It was such a beautiful day. I heard a witch doctor say, I'll bear you into a toad.
The song's pretty cool.
That's when you get some like artists' best work. It's when you give them free range.
Facts. So it opens up with that song, and then we're brought into the Chevy Malibu getting pulled over by like highway patrol or the sheriffs, I think. And this fucking sweaty ass scientist who's driving this Malibu and he's wearing a pair of sunglasses, but he's missing one of the lenses, and he just looks all kinds of
Swagged
crazy.
out.
I like how the cop like pulls him over, and I forget, he's like, "What do you got in the trunk?" And he's like, "You don't want to look in the trunk."
Dude, immediately didn't even tell him why he was pulling him over. Just
Nothing.
I need to see your trunk.
And I like how he's like, "Okay, cool," and he gives him the keys, and the cop just gets fucking vaporized,
Bro gets melted.
gets fucking melted.
Also, the car drives off like immediately after that, but the cop had his keys.
I thought the same thing. I was like,
So how did he get his keys back into the car? Maybe he has mind powers.
Spare. He gave him his spare.
It's powered by aliens, dude. Because it is a magical car, as we'll see at the end. So car gets vaporized. Well, not the car. The cop gets vaporized. All that's left are his boots. The special effects for him dying, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
I like
It's
that 1980s like melting special effects that you see in, I feel like, in a lot of movies from this era.
Yeah.
So that was cool. He drives off, and then we get it cuts over to Emilio Estevez's character, working in a supermarket with his buddy Kevin the nerd. I like how all the like produce, like everything in this movie just says what it is.
The name.
Yeah, they're like, let's go get a drink, and then they buy cans
Yeah,
and just say
it's
drink
drink.
on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny because some said drink and others said beer.
Beer.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Or when he's eating later on, out of a can when he goes home, and it says canned meat.
Canned meat, yeah. And then I guess a lot of people thought that was like a creative choice by Alex Cox that he came up with it. But I guess during that time period, Ralph's, the supermarket brand down here, had their own version of a generic beer that was a white can with a blue label that just said beer on it.
That's cool.
So he saw that, and that inspired him to do that with everything.
Nice.
Damn. That's cool.
So he's kind of an asshole. He gets fired from his job for like being bad at like stacking cans.
He stacks the cans, and then he knocks over the cans, and then he gets a gun pulled on him immediately.
The security guard just fucking pulls a gun on him. I wrote that down. I was like, what the fuck?
It's crazy. People in this town be wild.
And the reason why he got fired, he's like, you're not spacing the cans enough.
It was a liquor store, right? Not a grocery store?
It was a grocery store.
It was a grocery store.
Was it? Well, damn. Grocery stores had armed security guards back then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, maybe the part of LA that they lived in. I mean, LA used to really not be safe. It's a lot safer now than it was in the 80s.
True.
All our parents grew up here in the 80s, and they got some fucking crazy ass stories. They be telling me their fucking teenage years of life. But he gets fired. I like how he's all fucking edgelord, fucking, I'm too cool for school. Like, fuck you. I don't know why Kevin gets fired. Because he pushes Kevin into the cans. He's just like a victim. He doesn't actually do anything.
Fuck Kevin, that's why.
He gets fired.
little piece of trivia, that guy, the actor who plays Kevin, he joined the band Circle Jerks.
Yeah,
nice.
And they play in the movie.
Yeah.
They're in the like bar scene. He's like, I can't believe I used to like these guys. That's pretty funny. So they get fired, and then this is when we find out that Otto's a punk, because he ends up at like a punk show with his buddies, and he's like, he talks to his buddy Duke. He's like, dude, buddy, what'd you get out of fucking work? And they start like boxing, like aggressively punk dancing. I don't know what that's called. I don't really listen to punk music. I know there's a name for it.
Or
I guess they start moshing. I guess.
We need Stanley.
Yeah, Stan would know. Stan's a punk guy. Comment if you know the answer to what it's called when punks dance. If it is just moshing, then they're moshing. I don't know. So he goes in there. This is where we have him. And then it just flashes to him laying in bed with his chick. Yeah. That's where he tells him, excuse me while I fold my pants.
What a line.
So like, are they just like squatting at that? Oh no, it's Kevin the Nerd's house.
House. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
having a party.
his girl asked him to go get him like some water or something, and he leaves.
A beer.
A beer, that's right. He goes, he gets a beer, and then when he comes back, his buddy Duke is banging his girl.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, my bad," and she's like, "Don't worry about it." He's like, "What did she say? He's a crybaby or something?"
Yeah.
Like she thinks Otto's a little bitch. So then Otto's just like, "Oh, fuck this," and he just leaves. I was like, "Damn, that's fucked up." The dude's gone for like a minute. And his girl like immediately just starts fucking banging his homie who just got out of juvie.
Was that is that the same girl that we see later on?
Yeah, Debbie. Yeah,
Okay.
those two are like they're like the criminal couple, I guess.
Yeah.
Because they pop up a lot. They're way more intrinsic to the plot than I expected them to be.
I know.
So he goes, he dips out. He's all fucking sad boy walking the streets of LA. Does he walk through Skid Row?
It kind of
It
looks,
looks like
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I'm like, damn, that's
Yeah.
fucking. I mean, he's about it. He's just walking through Skid Row at night.
Was Skid Row? Had Skid Row been established since
Skid
the
Row's
80s
been-
or like
Yeah,
before that?
it's been a
Skid Row got its name, I think, in the early 1900s. I think since like the 20s.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, it's been a thing for a long time.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think it's just gotten worse because the homeless population has increased like dramatically because there's way more
That's
people
so
now than there
bad.
were. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
bad. Skid Row is like its own little world if you ever drive by there. If
It's
you're
crazy.
an LA tourist, it's a must-see destination.
I was just gonna say, like, all the people that give California and LA shit, like, they only show videos of Skid Row.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is what LA is like. It's like, nah, that's what Skid Row is like.
Yeah.
That's
It's a
like
very
five,
specific part of LA.
that's
Yeah.
5 square blocks.
Yeah. 5 square blocks, and that's where a lot of people experiencing homeless live.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
All right, so Otto gets roped into stealing a car, repoing a car, by Bud. Bud sees him and he's like, "Hey man, can you do me a favor? My wife's pregnant. Can you drive her car?
Drive
And
it
then
out of
I'm
this
gonna go-
sketchy area.
Yeah, drive it out of this sketchy area." And he's like, it takes some convincing. He's like, I'll pay you $10. And what does he say? Like $20? And he's like, fine, I'll give you 25.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like Bud raises the price and he's like, all right, cool. And they just take the car, but they repoed some like Hispanic family's car. Because
Yeah.
the dude comes out and Otto's he's an edgy punk guy, so he gets like a big rush from it. And then he figures out when they get back to the yard, he's like, oh, you're a repo man. So he's like, oh, you're a fucking scumbag, blah, 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 whatever. And then they're like, we like you, kid, all the repo man. Like, we think you got something. So they give him a beer and he just pours it on the floor like an asshole.
Edgelord.
I was like, damn, what a dick.
Well, he didn't want to be a repo man.
It's like, normally I'd kick your ass for doing that. But they're like, you know what, kid, you're all right.
So corny.
It seems like a cool job.
Yeah, you're just legally stealing cars.
That's I bet it's dangerous as fuck, but it seems cool.
Yeah.
My partner and I, there's this channel on like the TV, like, you know how like TVs have
Yeah.
their own
Like Samsung
Cable?
TV Plus.
Yeah. So there's Repo. It's called Repo Wars or some shit like that. And yeah, it's just about these repo people, and like some of the situations that they get into are just so ridiculous. It's like there was one where they were trying to steal a medical van, and then the like orderlies fucking injected one of the repo guys with something, and then he just like fainted and he was like convulsing. He was like, what the fuck is going on? And the guy had to like put him into the truck, and then he was calling like, we gotta get him to the hospital. And then he starts waking up. He's like, oh, what happened? So ridiculous. So dramatized. Is that a
That's
word?
fucking-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. They do some gnarly shit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
I
do.
saw the one with I don't know if you've seen the South Miami one, the one that's on True TV with the black chick with the dreads.
Dude.
And I
When
saw
she
clips-
falls off the
Yeah, she falls off this like second story of a parking structure.
and she's okay.
She comes back like the Terminator and shit.
She
dude.
just gets up and then beats the shit out of the
The guy?
person. Yeah. Dude,
Or is it a chick? I don't know. And I was like, dude, did that really happen? The guy backs up into her, hits her, and you just see her bottle like twirling in the air, but just hits the floor. And everyone's like, oh shit. And they're like, we gotta get out of here. And then she comes back and she's all Terminated out. Just starts bombing on the driver. I was like, there's no way that's real, dude. No fucking way this lady just got fucking flown off a 2-story parking structure. Like, how
Quality
soft is that
entertainment.
grass? Oh, that's fucking funny. All right, so then we break to the CIA going to find they find the sheriff's like body, right? And they're like scanning everything, and then the local PD are kind of like, well, what happened? And this is where she hits him with the line. It happens sometimes. People just explode.
All the time, bro.
It happens.
My
dude.
cousin exploded.
damn, is he okay?
Yeah, it just happens. He's
It
good.
just happens.
He's
dude.
chilling.
He's alive and well.
Yeah, he's alive, dude. He's just vibing, but he
Just needs
exploded
a new-
once.
Just needs a new pair of socks.
Yeah.
That's like kind of the only thing we get that we know the CIA is after the Malibu. People sometimes explode. The CIA director is kind of like this weird lady. I didn't get her name. Did you guys get her name?
The CIA lady?
I thought I
Yeah.
wrote it down somewhere.
I think she
It-
has like
she-
a crazy like Russian sounding name.
Is it
Agent Rogers.
Yeah.
Is it Agent
With
Rogers?
the
Never mind.
S and a Z at the end.
hmm Played by Susan Barnes. She's
She was
also
good.
she's also from They Live.
Oh, nice.
She has a small role called the brown-haired woman.
Ooh.
Yeah. A lot of They
I wonder
Live
if she's.
people.
There are a
one of
lot
the-
of they live people in here.
hmm
That's a good ass movie.
These two kind of remind me of each other.
Well, they're like a year apart. I think They Live came out in 86 or 85, and this one was 84. So
Yeah.
they're really close.
They're
I
like-
think it's probably all those same people. We're just like, yeah, we're gonna do this other sci-fi movie.
Yeah,
Makes
that makes
sense.
sense. It happens.
They Live
People
was
just
definitely
explode.
more polished.
In this movie, yeah, for sure. Well, isn't They Live by fucking
Wes
John
Craven?
Wes
Or
Craven?
John,
Yeah.
no, John Carpenter.
John
Yeah.
Carpenter, right?
Yeah.
It's all. By that point, he'd already done like The Thing and fucking like a bunch of other movies.
That dude is a master of his craft.
John Carpenter rocks. It jumps back to Otto talking to Kevin the nerd, and they're talking about like what they're gonna do for work. And Kevin the nerd's like, I'm gonna be a fry cook, man. He's like, there's fucking room to grow as a fry cook. 2 years from now, I'm gonna be manager. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Kevin's got some aspirations for life. He wants to be a fry cook. He does become a fry cook too. We see him later.
Yeah.
hmm
And then Otto's kind of like, I don't know if he wants to be a repo man. He goes home and his parents are like these hippie people are just smoking weed, watching this like this TV pastor
Televangelist.
guy. Yeah, televangelist. And they're like, yeah, like he's eating out of the can of canned meat from the fridge.
Did you catch what they were saying on the TV?
Yeah.
Dude,
What'd
it
he
was
say?
crazy. It was like, I want your money because God wants your money.
Mhm.
Take out a second mortgage on your house. You don't need your car. It's like
Yeah.
fuck.
That dude
Just
is
like
something else.
blatantly commenting on like televangelists and
Yeah.
how they just ask for money.
It was also talking about before that. It was like the dangers of liberalism and stuff like that. Yeah, it was, that was wild.
Ahead
I
of
mean,
its time.
they send him like his savings, right? Like that they're gonna give to
Yeah.
Otto.
And
$1,200 to send Bibles to El Salvador.
hell
Yeah.
yeah, my people getting Bibles.
Oh yeah, you think your
probably
dad
never
still
received
has
those
it in his
Bibles.
closet.
That's why he came over to America after that. He
Yeah.
was like, Bibles, hell yeah,
Bibles. God's
got-
in America.
I
They
gotta
got
go to
Bible
America.
money in America. Oh shit!
Pulling up, yo, you guys got Bibles?
Got Bibles?
#1 bestseller all time.
Number one bestseller.
Yeah, because they were selling them back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Slang 'em.
selling him to the Salvadorians.
Freshly translated,
Yeah.
hot off the press. So then fucking Otto, he decides, fuck it, I'll be a repo man. he links back up with Bud, and Bud's like getting him caught up on game, telling him like what he needs to do. And then we find out like he got super ripped off for repoing that car because he's like, it's all on commission, kid. They gave him $25 and he's like, yeah, a fucking Porsche, you can get you $5,000 in commission. Like, damn, they only gave this you $25. Like, that means like a cheapy car will at least net you a couple $100.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it pays good. $5,000 in fucking 1984.
It's good.
Yeah, that
Good
is
money.
pretty good.
That's good money. I mean, $5,000 today for a single job is good money. You could repo one nice car a month and you'd be chilling.
I feel like $5,000 would be like repoing like a Sentra
Sentra? I was
these days.
Like a Honda Civic.
How much money?
Well,
to
so the
repo-
Malibu's later we found out it's worth $20,000,
Yeah.
and then today's money that's $60,000.
Okay.
As of October 2023, the average annual salary for a repossession agent or Repo Man is $62,000. However, their pay can vary depending on the type of work that they do. Some may earn more than others.
That makes sense.
I feel like it's one of those businesses that you have to get into business for yourself in order to like really make some money.
Yeah, because that's what Bud was saying. He's like, I want to start my own business. I'm gonna be my own
Yeah.
repo man. Because he's tired of giving a cut.
A repo owner's salary can reach several hundreds of $1,000s per year if they set high rates and have a steady
Yeah.
flow of clients. The amount a repo man makes depends on how much they charge for each vehicle, which can range from $150 to $400.
So they're like mercenaries.
They're like bounty hunters.
The guns for hire.
Like bounty hunters
Nice.
are for cars.
It's like Dog, the bounty hunter, but for cars.
Like the old west. They
Yep.
have like wanted signs, but for cars.
That'd be funny, dude. Wanted. Some fucking Chevy fucking sedan.
License plate X35702.
Last spotted leaving a McDonald's drive-thru.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Hot leads.
And then so Bud he tells him like, hey, dress like a detective. People think you're legit, and then he tells him like the repo code. And I guess Alex Cox is saying that repo code is based on what an actual repo man told him, because I guess Alex Cox like was a repo man for a little while. That's where he got like the idea for the movie. So what he tells of the repo code is exactly well, not exactly, but a version of what was told to him when he started doing the job.
So I read that that it was based off because Alex Cox like what do you call it, did like a ride along with an actual repo man named Mark Lewis, and that's this guy Mark Lewis was like sharing knowledge with him throughout his like I don't know his ride along, and that a lot of Bud's lines were based off of the exact quotes that this real life repo man was telling him.
That's cool. The repo man needs some shit, dude. Bud is kind of wise.
Yeah.
Did the repo man also do speed? Because during his training day session, they fucking immediately do speed.
Railing speed, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking railing, saying
Just
some
the-
fatty
I mean,
lines.
Just a way to
intense
fucking
job.
stay up.
I mean, yeah, because they're working all
It
throughout the
is.
night.
And
Is
that
it?
one scene where he's like, I got all night. Repo man don't go anywhere or something like that.
Fuck, what is it? The life of a repo man is always intense.
Always.
Always. I mean, it seems intense.
Yeah.
I mean, some of their carjackings go pretty smoothly, but a lot of them are like
Yeah.
fucking wild. And then they have like rivals. Like we get introduced right
Yeah.
after this to the Rodriguez brothers, and they just have like a battle in the LA River. Just like they're just fucking hitting each other with their cars. Like it's on site, dude. Like the Rodriguez brothers just show up and just immediately start attacking them.
Yeah.
They were tailing them for a while. They
It's
had to have
interesting.
been.
Because they call the Rodriguez brothers car thieves, but the Rodriguez brothers themselves are repo men. They don't consider themselves car thieves because they have, I forget, there's a car that they're trying to get, and it's like not on the up and up, and they're like, nah, we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're legit. They get no respect from the other repo men.
Is it racist?
It is racist. I mean, the one of the Rodriguez brothers is wearing the hairnet the whole time.
Yeah, he
He
is.
looks like a mad fucking veterano.
Well, that might have also been the style back in the 80s.
Definitely was.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
With the khaki pants and the fucking white beater.
It's just cool
Mhm.
that they actually got some homies
From
to
like
play the
actual
part.
Latinos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not like some.
I've seen them in
Not
other
just brown
films,
facing people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but that's what kind of finally sells Otto, because after that he's like super hyped. He's
Yeah.
like,
He
oh
steps
fuck
into
yeah.
he steps into the riverbed. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. They're both standing in
In
Like
the water.
that
in LA.
dirty ass fucking water too.
Ankle
Yeah.
deep.
LA, for people that don't know, the LA River that you see is not clean water at all.
It's not.
Please, if ever you're in LA, do not go in the water.
But
I mean,
visit the river. It's really nice.
You can look at it, but don't go in it.
I think my dad said they used to swim in it when he was a kid.
Ugh.
I'm sure it was cleaner back then.
Maybe,
Maybe.
in like
Like it's-
specific areas.
Maybe. Well, my dad grew up in fucking Boyle Heights, East LA, so I don't know.
I saw this random YouTube documentary of I think it was a Vice documentary. Some guy fishes in the LA River
Yeah, that's a
and
thing.
he eats what he catches.
Hell yeah.
Damn, that food must have superpowers.
It's like a stomach of steel.
And then so then we got to see like some of their Repo Man antics, some of their like how they try to get cars. So they come across that chick who's driving sports car of some kind. I forget which one it was. Yeah, this is when he's with Light, right? And Light tells him to throw the rat on her.
Yeah, the old rat in the
yeah.
bag technique.
Yeah, the rat. He's like, it never fails. So he's like, hey, and he throws the rat on her, and she's like, oh, nice. And she just fucking pepper sprays him, and Light just ditches him. He's just like in the middle of the street, all fucking dying.
Just getting hazed.
Yeah, getting hazed, and then they go and they jack that millionaire's car. He's like, I don't get it. Guy's a millionaire. He doesn't pay his bills.
Yeah, the laundromat.
You're like, oh, he carries a gun, so be careful. And he just has like an empty holster.
Mm-hmm.
I think back then, I don't know when. Actually, I don't know when they implemented that you can't. What's it called?
Open carry.
Open carry.
carry in California.
We'll look it up.
Maybe after the riots.
Yeah, I know it was a reaction to the Black Panthers because they didn't take advantage of it, but they're like, all right, cool, we carry guns, so they would just carry guns everywhere.
Open carry of loaded firearms in California has been illegal since 1967, except for hunting or
damn.
law enforcement. In 2012, Penal Code 26350 made it illegal to openly carry unloaded firearms in public as well. So 67.
Damn. So
Before you could carry a gun if it didn't have any ammo in it.
that's crazy.
The Mulford Act was signed into law in 1967 by California Governor Ronald Reagan. Fuck that guy. And it was created to disarm the Black Panther Party members who were patrolling Oakland neighborhoods with guns.
Damn. Oaktown.
Oaktown, they hated him. Because
Yeah,
they'd
but
walk
that's
around with
crazy, though.
unloaded shotguns.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we could have walked around with like pistols in
Yep.
2009
Yep.
as
pretty
long as
much.
it didn't have
As long as you had a
ammo.
permit for it, you're good.
Wild.
As well. Because like they didn't say you can't carry the ammo, the gun just can't be loaded.
Yeah.
So you could just not have the
Oh.
clip in there and then just pop the
Yeah.
clip in when shit's supposed to pop off.
Huh.
That's crazy. All right, and then after this is where we get introduced to Layla.
Yep.
Dude, Otto is such a fucking piece of shit. He is such an unlikable main character.
Dude,
He is just like
this made me dislike
fucking-
Emilio Estevez.
Yeah.
such a scumbag. So he sees Layla. He's like hollering at her. He crashes his car because he's just checking her out and he's not paying attention. And then like I don't know, he manages to like swoon her enough to like pick her up, and then she like explains immediately that she's part of some like underground group that's like smuggling an alien. Like she just says it.
Well,
like,
because she was running away from something.
oh, that's right. Because she says that she's being chased right by like the CIA
Yeah. And then she has a picture and
of the alien. Yeah,
and Otto said it
sausages.
looks like sausages. And
that's
she
right.
says it's 4 aliens and it's going to come out on the news soon.
So I read that it was condoms
Yeah, the condoms filled with water.
filled with water with grass skirts on them.
That's fucking funny, dude.
Nice.
Weird.
And then like he's a complete fucking dick to her.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like borderline, like I don't know, like frat bro-y mentality. But then it somehow works. And she's like, "You want to get back in the car?" And he's like, "Right here." She's like, "Yeah." And then they just bang in the back of the car. I was like, "What
Yeah.
the fuck?" Because
I
she's
don't
like,
know.
it seems like she's not digging him at all.
For
Yeah.
real.
And then she's just like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'll bang him."
Right in front of the United Fruitcake outlet,
Yeah,
UFO. Yeah, I mean, this whole time, I know Emilio Estevez was supposed to be like this punk, but he still he felt like his character from Breakfast Club, just like some jock dude,
yeah,
pretty
but
boy
like he
jock dude.
feels like a poser.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bony.
he does some shit in this movie where I'm like, where he seems like he's growing up, like when he's hanging out with Bud or Miller. He's like, oh, okay, like he's internalizing all this shit they're telling him. But then like his punkness comes out, and you're like, oh, dude, this guy's just a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, but then we do see the alien. It comes out on the newspaper
Immediately after.
Yeah.
immediately.
Well, didn't she say she was like, this is gonna hit the news outlets like 24 hours?
Mhm.
Yeah, and it does. And he doesn't even mention it too, but it's right there on the front cover. And then he goes and he steals a car with light again, right? And I don't know why they showed this because there's a car that has a bunch of presents in it. And they throw the presents out and the presents are money.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, that's cool. But it has nothing to do with the plot.
They just missed out on some cash.
It's
Mhm.
just out on cash.
I think you skipped over fucking Miller's
The mechanic. Yeah.
Miller's like weird speech about cosmic unconsciousness.
That happens right after they steal the car. It jumps to
Oh.
them. I think they're burning shit from the car. That's what Miller's talking about, like cosmic unconsciousness. Is this where he tells them, like, the
Mhm.
more you drive, the dumber you become, or something?
Yeah. The less
Mhm.
intelligent you are.
And that he thinks that time machines cause people to disappear.
He's basically saying flying saucers are time machines, right?
Yeah. Flying
Yeah.
saucers are time machines, and the reason why people disappear in South America is because they find time machines and they go back in time. It's wild.
And then he's the cosmic unconscious. How does he describe it? He's like, you'll think of like fish or something of fish, and then you'll see it like immediately or something.
hmm
Kind of like the way your phone's advertised to you.
hmm It seemed like he was explaining what's it called, like manifesting, but not at the same time.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It was like an early form of manifesting.
He's,
Either way,
he's an interesting cat.
he's one of the
Yeah, he was.
weirdest characters, and people in this and everybody's in this movie is weird, but I think he's definitely.
You gotta remember, they're all fucking high on speed.
Yeah, that's true.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
It's crazy that he's a car mechanic, but he doesn't know how to drive.
Yeah, that is weird. I wonder what he does. Does he just like fix any damage that happens to the repos and then they give them back?
Probably.
Yeah, right. Or your
Sure.
maintenance is like any like tow trucks that they have.
Well, because I know like places that repossess cars sometimes, like they repossess their own cars, and then so they fix them up and try to resell them.
Mhm.
Or like
That
they
makes
have
sense.
like the auctions, the auto auction spots. Those are usually like repo yards.
That's right, huh? And then I don't know why I wrote this down, but you put that people get so hung up on specifics. I don't remember where that was from. Oh, that's what he says. The more you drive, the less smart you get.
Less
That's right.
intelligent you are.
Yeah. And then they go back to the Rodriguez brothers, and then they see the I forgot to mention it earlier. The Repo Men see the listing for the 20,000 for the Chevy Malibu. And then the Rodriguez brothers see it, and I like how their grandma's just like making some fucking tortillas in the background.
Yeah. That's the dream.
Yeah, for real.
Is this the same scene where Bud shows up and he tells him he could stay up all night?
I remember some of it like blends together because yeah, they do a lot of cuts.
Yeah, so many small scenes.
Yeah. That might be that scene.
I think so, right?
Yeah.
Because they look out the window like, damn, is he still down there?
hmm And they're talking about it at the same time, and I think Bud's trying to get a lead on where the
On a
car
car.
is
Yeah, he's like, I'll give
on
you
the
a
Chevy
grand.
Malibu. Yeah. Yeah.
Because we later find out, well, like pretty right after this scene. Well, then we have another fucking scene with Otto that makes me want to punch him in the face. Where he goes and visits Layla at work, and he just like starts demanding sex.
Oh yeah.
Like
He just
right in the
pulls-
middle of the museum, he like starts undressing himself, and he's like, "Let's go, let's do this." And it's like,
And he
bro, why are you
drops
gonna
his-
be creepy?
drops his pads, and she goes down to like pick him up. He's like, "Well, you can like, give me a blowjob while you're down there." I was like, "Dude, this dude fucking sucks."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I felt that scene literally. I don't know if we're supposed to like Otto, but like these scenes, because it doesn't really do much for the plot. This is just giving us more detail into his character as a person.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like every scene where it's Otto not with the repo people, he's just acting like a fucking asshole.
I mean, thinking about it, it kind of like it feels like a comic book like section, you know?
Yeah. Do you think
I can see it in the screenplay, like you're turning the page, and then when you turn the page, it's just something different.
Yeah, it's like, "Wanna suck my dick," and you're like, "Whoa!" And then it's next.
Next scene,
Next
he's in the car
scene.
with Bud.
I was thinking about it because I mean our viewpoints have definitely changed over the years, and there's things that we like don't as a population like don't agree with anymore. Do you think back in '84 scenes like that were like funny? Like,
Oh,
haha,
I'm sure
this guy's
Maybe.
hilarious.
the male audience definitely like, yeah,
yeah, boy.
suck his dick,
yeah,
grab his
Yeah.
dick and twist it.
twist it.
Twist his fucking dick.
Yeah, it's definitely these scenes reminded me like the well, I mean the whole movie was dated, but for sure like those specific scenes just doesn't hit.
Yeah, it doesn't. That definitely didn't age well.
Yeah.
Well, it just made me hate the main character, which I don't think was the intention of the film.
Yeah.
But I don't
Yeah.
know. I didn't read any interviews with Alex Cox that said what his intentions are with Otto.
Yeah.
But then we get to another scene with Bud dropping knowledge, and he's talking about how credit is like a sacred trust and how important it is to have it, and how his idea is he wants to get the Malibu, get the 20 grand for himself, and then use that 20 grand with credit in order to open up his own repo shop, because like that's where you really make the money. And then he was saying something about Russia, and then Otto's like, "Oh no, they don't pay for anything in Russia. They don't pay for anything in Russia." He's like, "What are you, a fucking commie?" He's like, "No." He's like, "I'm not a commie." He's like, "I don't want no commies in my car. Oh yeah, no Christians neither." I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, Otto's character's pretty interesting because I thought that at one point he was more of like a conservative like person, but then at the same time he's like, hey, when he in that part when he's like, I don't want like a commie or
Oh, you mean Bud?
Bud.
but yeah. I don't want a commie or I don't want a Christian in my car. Like either I was like, what the
I think
fuck? I think he's
my bad.
I think he's more of like he's supposed to be like the consumer, like high level consumer person who is trying to also like build his business at this exact same time. I think that the world that's going on is like during I mean for sure like it's during like a Republican period, right?
During the Reagan period.
Yes, yeah, during like Reagan time. So I think he's like supposed to be like a Reagan person who's trying to build like their own business, and Otto's the exact opposite of that, who's just kind of trying to go through it all. And I just think it's funny whenever Bud like talks, he says these like really like specific businessy kind of trying to help Bud, trying to help Otto like get his life together. But it's coming from like a really specific point of view. Thought that was interesting to throw him in there.
Yeah. I feel like at one point in time, there was a bigger separation from church and state. So like back then, maybe Republicans weren't so into Christianity, and you had a lot of these people that were Republicans, but also not religious. Whereas now, the two kind of like became one.
the rise in evangelical Christianity and the way the Republican Party kind of latched to it definitely started to bring the two to become synonymous with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Democratic Party latched onto the poor, and so the Republican Party latched onto the Christians who represented traditional values.
It's so wild that we've been going like this for so long that I forgot
Yeah.
that
There's
it
a point
wasn't.
in time where it
Yeah,
wasn't like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that there was a point in time the Republicans
Where
weren't.
politics are just politics.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
this has
Yeah,
been our life for so long.
There was a scene where they're driving down Skid Row and Bud is like, why don't these people just like? I bet you all these people have low credit scores. He says something
Yeah.
along those lines. It's like, damn, dude,
But if you can
they don't
see
even have
Otto,
homes.
like
What are
he
you
says
worried
that.
about their credit scores?
and you can see how Otto like gives him a look like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like, okay, dude, like whatever. I feel like this because their relationship kind of starts to like separate. Because
Mhm.
Otto's
Yeah.
still is like they start off being really tight and then they get kind of choppy near the end. And then this is where the Rodriguez brothers get the Malibu, right? They
Mhm.
steal the Malibu. They go, we know they have it, and then it swaps to Otto pretending to be like the loan advisor for this old black lady, the finance guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
And then like all her sons and like relatives come over, and there's like just like a bunch of dudes
bunch of mopeds.
and a bunch of mopeds, and they try to steal the car, and you hear the grandma giving them shit, being like, "Man, what'd you do with the money? I gave you the money to pay for the car. What'd you spend it on?" And she's like, "I'm gonna give you money tomorrow. You better go and you better pay the car off." And then what they were smart because they put the car up on like what I forget what those are called when you're working on a car.
Like
You hit-
jacks.
Jax.
yeah, like on jacks. So when he tries to take off, when Otto tries to take off with it, he can't. Then
Yeah.
they pull him out of the car and they just beat the living shit out of him. I was fucking dying. I was like, fucking Otto. That scene was cool. I like they all show around and they surround him, kind of like that chick, that white chick being surrounded by all the black dudes in the meme. And he looks and he looks all scared.
Oh man, yeah,
That's the thing about you notice about these punks, right? Like they think they're all hard shit, and then he gets into a situation where he obviously is like in danger, and you can see in his face he's like, "Oh, scared little suburban white guy."
well,
Yeah.
he's you said it earlier. He's like a poser.
He's a poser.
He's not a punk.
Well, he even
That
tells
dude was
Ke-
so quick to like flop and be like, "Oh, I can't believe I used to like this music." Like, dog, it's only been what, like a couple months,
couple
if
weeks-
that.
Yeah.
if that. Sold out, man.
I
So we get-
I do like that that the Repo Men are all down for the cause. Like they protect their
Dude.
own.
Mhm.
Hell yeah! Is it this scene or after? Because because he gets his shit kicked, and then he ends up with Light to go steal that. Well, it's like a Camaro or something or a Corvette.
This is my favorite light scene.
And then he gets like he ducks down to like wire the car, and he gets shot at, and like he would have got headshotted if he didn't duck down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he's like freaking out. Then like how Light just gets out of the car, all cool, calm, and collected, and pulls out his gun and just starts like blasting at the dude.
Reminded me of Denzel Washington in Training Day.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that same vibe. Or like, what's his name from Malibu's Most Wanted? He
B-Rad.
just starts
B-Rad.
blasting in the fucking neighborhood. Yeah, that shit was crazy. It's so hilarious because he was expecting Light to like pull up, get in the car, and then dip out, but Light's just like
Yeah.
walk
No,
up,
we still on the clock, dude. You
walks
better go
out.
fucking get that car.
pulls out his gun, and just starts shooting through the. Yeah, that was hilarious.
It's interesting too. So, the little trivia I read that they break almost every single one of Bud's rules in this scene. So whenever
Damn.
Otto is with Light, they don't stick to like Bud's repo like ideology of like what a repo man should do.
Yeah,
They break because he hotwires the car, they damage the vehicle.
and
He
the damage
uses the
goods
gun.
inside.
Yeah, the damage gets inside. So they always break the rules when he's with Light.
He does break the rules before when he throws that package out of the car, and it's like money.
He's also with Light when he does that
Yeah, he's
too.
also
not
with Light.
Bud.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He just kind of becomes whoever the fuck he's hanging out with.
Yeah,
He has no individuality.
he's like a yes man.
Yes, man.
He
Yeah.
is a yes man. And then he's like freaking out. He's like talking to Light. And like that's the noise. Like, dude, I was just shooting with blanks. Blanks do the job too.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh,
That
that's
was
really
badass.
smart. I was like,
Yeah.
that's really fucking smart. And then they dip out. It cuts to the scientist talking to Layla. They're all talking on the payphone and they're like across the street from each other. I was like, what the fuck? And she's like, are you using a scrambler? And he's like, I can't hear you. I'm using a scrambler. What the fuck? I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Top tier writing.
And I guess I wrote it down. When it's the scrambler, it's it's a poem from Alice in Wonderland being played backwards.
Really?
Yeah, that's what's
That's
coming
cool.
through the scrambler.
That's dope.
Did you mention that the Rodriguez brothers have the Chevy?
Yeah. They
Oh,
have the
okay.
Malibu.
Okay.
Mhm.
And they talk, and then fucking the scientist has like the reflexes of a cat because they fucking CIA try to run him down in their car. And he manages to like not get run over even though they plow straight through the phone booth.
All bomb.
It's weird because he dodges it and they don't go after him. They go straight for Layla and they capture her like immediately.
It's like GTA.
Well, they probably thought they killed him. No.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, maybe.
Because they capture it and then he gets up afterwards. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? They capture Layla. Layla immediately switches sides. Like, immediately.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't even like, they like go to interrogate her and she just tells her everything. And now she's part of the CIA. She's just on their team now.
There was a funny line in this scene. It was like, you ever think about joining the CIA? And she says, I don't know. I'd have to ask my boyfriend.
Oh, that's right. I don't understand Layla's character either.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's supposed to represent, but she's part of the CIA now. And then I like their conversation when it flips back to the Repo Man. There's so much fucking going back and forth. And they have the whole conversation about how fucking John Wayne was a fag.
Dude,
Mm-hmm.
And
the
then,
mechanic always has these like insightful conversations.
and everyone gets all mad. Like, what the fuck, John Wayne? That's a true American right there. And he's like, John Wayne's a fag. He's like, so what? He like to watch his buddies fuck. You guys like watching your buddies fuck? I love watching my buddies fuck.
Didn't he say
But-
like he answered the car in a dress or the
Yeah.
door in a dress?
He's like, that doesn't mean he's a fag. John Wayne was a fucking Nazi, though. Fucking piece of shit.
Damn, really?
Yeah, he's a fascist.
Oh
He
man.
hated Jews.
Oh,
And he was like
Oh.
super racist.
damn.
Well, I mean Walt Disney too.
Yeah. Scumbags.
That one Family Guy. Where they unfreeze Walt Disney. He's like, are the Jews still around? It's like, yes. He's like, put me back in.
Put me back in. I think in between this, as well, the robbers come in and they steal.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They steal the Chevy from the Rodriguez brothers as well,
That's
because
right.
the Rodriguez brothers just like get out to like get some ice cream.
Because it
Oh,
was so
that's-
hot.
That's what
Yeah.
they say. Yeah, it's so hot they stop to get a Coke. And then remember how Miller was like, sometimes in your unconscious, you'll just think plate of shrimp, and then you'll see it. And then if you look at the place where they get,
Yeah.
it has an advertisement that says plate o shrimp.
Nope. That the fucking one of the Rodriguez brothers was in the phone booth and he just watched them steal the car.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He just let it happen.
Sometimes you just gotta let it happen.
And then I like how the other Rodriguez comes up and they're like, fuck. And he's like, he like shrugs his shoulders and just hands him the Coke and they just start
Yeah.
like drinking their soda, like, all right, well, fuck it.
Yeah.
Part of the
That's
business, I guess.
Life of a repo man.
Yep.
Yep.
It's always intense.
And like a quarterback out of a short memory. But think about the last interception.
I like that throughout all of this, there's like multiple stories. It's like Otto and Bud, the Rodriguez brothers, the CIA, and
The
then
punks.
the punk robbers who are just doing this like crime spree across LA, just doing
because
random
we
shit.
didn't mention it, but earlier, like they robbed the liquor store.
Right before or
No, right after, so
Otto
they're-
Otto and
Otto
Bud
and
go
Bud
in
go.
on training day.
They rob it, they leave, and then they set up. They're like, hey, I think that was Otto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's another scene where a liquor store gets robbed. they leave, and then Otto and Bud walk in again.
That's
and
right.
then this is the third time we see the robbers where
They steal the car this
they,
time.
yeah, they finally steal a car, and now they're connected in the story.
And then all that shit happens with the repo, with Layla getting captured. And then I put
Fucking
that
flips.
the repo man go get Mr. Humphreys, but I don't remember who that is.
It's because Otto pulls up to the repo base, and they're all like drinking and having a blast, and then they see that Otto has a black eye, and they're like, "Who did this to you?"
That's right. That's right. Because they take care of their own.
Yeah.
But that's his black eye from getting jumped by those dudes, right?
Yeah, it was. And so he just
He goes to the manager of the fucking supermarket.
Yeah.
They beat the fuck out of him.
Yep.
That was funny.
Repo men take care of their own.
Then this is when Otto has the like meet and greet with the CIA chick, right? Like Layla asks him, they try to recruit Otto to get him to steal the Malibu for the CIA.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see that the CIA lady has like a metal hand.
Some type of crazy technology hand.
So I guess it was supposed to be a cybernetic hand, but they didn't have the budget for it. So it just looks like she's wearing like a silver glove. So I guess when people, so like the reaction of the punks, because the punks see it, remember they like start kissing it, and the fucking Debbie chick starts like sucking on her fingers.
Yeah.
I guess they're like so in awe because she has a cybernetic hand. But like when audiences at the time saw it, they're like, I don't understand. Why is this lady wearing a glove? Because they didn't have the money to get the special effects to make an actual cybernetic hand.
Good times.
I was like, hell yeah, low budget shit.
This is also where right after that, the robbers go out and they're like, let's do some crimes.
Yeah, they say that like, let's leave, let's go do some crimes. Duke is all fucking tweaked the fuck out. And the scientist goes up to them and he's like, hey, I think this is my car. And they're like, what? This is our car. And he's like, oh, this is your car? Oh, it looks just like my car. Oh, my bad. The scientist is so like cool, calm, and collected, and like uses his weirdness to get out of so many fucking jams.
Yeah.
I wanted more of the scientist.
Yeah, he was cool.
He needed more screen time.
And he like tricks them into opening the trunk.
Yeah.
And
Bro
then
gets fucking melted.
Yeah, well, fucking it's Duke first, and he burns his hand, and Debbie pushes him out of the way. And then Archie's like, I'm taking over the fucking group. I'm gonna be the leader now. He's like, watch. Then he opens the fucking trunk and he just gets melted. He dies. And then this is where Debbie and Duke tells Debbie, he's like, let's just go get some sushi and not pay.
Yeah.
And the scientist has his car back.
Yep. I mean, it was a good technique. It worked.
It was a good technique. And then they get into another car chase with the Rodriguez brothers.
Because the Rodriguez brothers are chasing the Chevy, and then the Repo Men are chasing the Rodriguez brothers. It's a whole car chase. It's a good car chase scene.
Always on site with them.
It was a cool car chase.
Instant beef.
Yeah. And then what ends it is them like they hit his car, and he's like, that's it. Well, let me see your insurance. Yeah. And they're like, bullshit, you stole that car. Like, nope, we paid it off. This is insured now. And everyone's like, fuck, they got insurance? Let's get the fuck out of here. Like they immediately get scared because they have insurance on their car.
So in that scene, I guess Bud Stanton actually used a real bat, and even though the director told him not to, menace. So he was actually swinging a bat.
He was on a fucking sick one.
Probably on was it speed, heroin,
coke, something.
I forget what it is.
The real life actor just getting all fucking
method acting.
Method acting, yeah, brother. Yeah, I guess like the director, like after one scene where he has a real bat and the actors could feel the wind from the weight created by a real bat, they're like, what the fuck? So like Cox got mad and like forced everyone to just use plastic bats after that.
Yeah, he said Stanton was like, the audience would know if it was a fake bat.
I would, honestly, I would be like, wow, that bat's so fake. Give me the real bats.
That's what I said after I saw the movie and realized that it was fake. I was like, I could tell. I could tell. I know my bats.
Mm-hmm.
I played Little League. And then Bud does get fired because the Rodriguez brothers do sue them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bud gets up. But Bud gets fired. Otto's all sad.
And they go to Skid Row, and there's like, I thought this was one of those scenes where like they show something, but it doesn't really do anything. We see those same like government guys and like they're like what are those suits called? You
Hazmat.
don't hazmat suits, and they're just like throwing dead bodies into like the
Yeah.
back of a.
I thought it was because people are getting sick all over the city because of the car.
I thought that too,
I thought
and then
it
I
was-
was like, or is it just like that's just like a job that you have if you work Skid Row because people OD and shit.
Yeah, I thought it was just people ODing, just drug use.
It could be that too. I thought it was all connected, but maybe not.
I mean, it could be. It's
Yeah.
not really explained.
Well,
And
I
I
know-
don't think they just do that in LA. Like, usually it's a whole thing, like
Yeah.
sheet over the body.
I know that because in this scene, when Otto gets out and he's walking, and then we see them taking out the dead bodies, Otto sees the Malibu and it's driving, and he's chasing it, and then he stops and he's like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna be sick," and he throws up, and then he starts chasing it again, and I think it's all tied to the. I mean, that was why I thought it was all tied. But
Yeah, I
maybe not.
mean, that definitely could be. I thought he threw up because he was running so much. Because that
too.
happens.
Yeah, happened to me yesterday.
Football practice.
Running,
Hell
he's
week.
all messed out, fucking pushing his body beyond its limits. You're right. So he chases the Malibu, and then the scientist just picks him up,
Yeah, just opens
like-
the door.
and they have an interesting conversation about radiation and how the government lies to you to make it seem like radiation's like really bad. So like he
Oh.
got a lobotomy.
hmm
Nice. Yeah, dude, this whole scene like made me, I was like, damn, I wish there was more of this character.
Yeah,
Because his little monologue, his one monologue that he had was good.
Yeah, it was good.
He played a convincing, like,
Crazy guy.
I don't know, twacked out scientist.
He's like, and I got a lobotomy. He's like, don't they get that to crazy people? I was like, oh shit. He's driving post lobotomy. And then he just dies. He just like crashes and just like his head hits the
Radiation.
steering wheel and he just dies. After saying all that shit about how radiation's not bad for you, just immediately dies.
Yeah.
Then Otto just dumps his body and then fucking takes the Malibu back to the lot. And then he sees that they're having a party. And he goes to the bar and like all the Repo Man's wives, their fake tits are all over fucking Otto.
just loving him. But
Love
Otto
him.
just really wants to find Bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's all sad boy.
hmm
Just another scene of him walking down Skid Row with a 6-pack.
And then it switches back to Duke talking to Debbie and talking about he's like, we should settle down, have a kid. And she's like, why would we do that? He's like, I don't know. It's just a thing that you do. And she's like, I don't know. And they're like, all right, whatever. And they rob the liquor store and they have like a mad fucking shootout.
For real. And
'Cause Otto
Otto's in
finds-
there too.
But he finds Bud by this point. And I think they're getting more beer, no?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Because they come in, they pull guns, and then Otto's like, yo, what the fuck? Because he knows them. Then Bud pulls his gun. Then the security guy who was in the supermarket, I guess he was buying shit. He pulls his gun.
That's what made me think that it was the liquor store in the beginning.
No, he
Because
had
the security
groceries in
guy
his
was there.
hands.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
a
He
different
was
place.
carrying shit.
Mm.
That security guy's fucking down though.
This was probably the slowest gunfight in the history of cinema, though.
Yeah. Everybody
It's
gets
like-
shot individually.
Yeah, they all took turns like his fucking Final Destination or no, what's that? Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I was like turn based.
Turn-based combat in a movie? Hell yeah.
Because who gets shot first? Because I know the security guy.
The security guy.
shoots- Oh yeah, the security guy gets shot by Duke, and then
Mhm.
while he's falling, he shoots Duke
hmm
Yep, in the chest.
in the chest, and then
And then Duke
The-
shoots him again
Duke shoots him again. Then Duke gets shot in the side of the head, like it grazes him.
by the
The shotgun, right? He gets
by-
blasted in the back.
Yeah, by the owner.
No,
Yeah.
remember, not Duke. Bud. Bud gets grazed. Duke grazes Bud.
Security guard?
No, isn't it the chick? I think the chick shoots Bud.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
chick.
the chick shoots Bud,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then the store owner kills Duke with the shotgun, and then the chick shoots the store owner.
Mhm.
And then Otto's just kind of like, what the fuck? Everyone's dying.
It's a mad shootout.
Yeah.
Debbie just says, fuck it. She dips.
She
And
gives
then
him a bag of popcorn.
Oh, yeah. She gives him a bottle of popcorn and leaves. And then Otto talks to Bud, like, because he's like, I guess that was his best friend. He was treating him like a best friend. And then he has like his final words. I forget what his final words were.
The society made me what I am.
Oh, yeah. He's like, no, they didn't. He's like, you're just a suburban punk like I am.
Yeah, suburban white punk.
Yeah. And I was
Dude,
like,
I don't know
ooh.
how that dude had enough energy to even speak after getting shot in the chest and then blasted in the back.
He's all tweaked out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that they're all on speed.
They're like
Everybody.
mad out this whole fucking movie.
Everyone in this
Especially
town.
Duke is super high the whole time.
Maybe the aliens never existed and it was all a figment
All
of
in their-
their
all in their head.
imagination. They were all on the same trip.
Yeah.
Damn. They never left the house.
Oh,
I like that right after he says you're just a suburban white suburban punk just like me, he was like, you're gonna be all right. Then he like looks over at Bud, and then you hear his dying noise and he's like, maybe not. And then he just walks away from it.
He just bolts. He ditches Bud too.
Yeah.
And then it switches to a quick scene where they're burning the scientist's body.
Mhm.
And then the CIA figures out that the Malibu's at the repo lot. But when they get there, it's gone. And then they go, fucking Otto goes, talks to them, and then I just wrote Marlene's a fucking badass, the fucking secretary.
oh yeah.
She just starts,
Oh, because the CIA breaks into the repo place.
yeah, she starts fucking them up.
Yep.
Mhm.
You know, it's like fucking kung fu and shit.
I wrote down a quote. Maybe you guys remember where it's from. I don't remember where it's from, but it says, "Not my face, my face."
Oh, it's for it's for
What?
Pletch.
He
The
has
cop?
he has a chair. I mean,
Uh-huh.
he knocks down the cop, and then he has like a chair, and the cop's like, "Not my face," and he hits him in the face with the chair, and he's like, "My face."
Yeah, because Pletch or whatever, the cop that like hung out the repo place, like he pulls a gun on Marlene and basically is like, nah, give it up. Like, I guess he's working with the CIA now because he is a cop, I guess.
These people
So-
fucking flipping.
So Marlene fucked up all the CIA guys,
Everyone's a double agent.
and
I
then
know.
fucking Otto throws hot coffee,
That
Coffee
one liner.
There's a
Yeah,
coffee
hey
break.
Fletch.
and he's like, oh, and then he gets a chair and he like bashes him in the face with it. And then so Marlene gets away because she goes out the back door and like Otto doesn't want to leave. So he immediately gets captured by the fucking CIA because there's way more agents.
Mhm.
And they just torture him. Well, it's fucking Layla tortures him.
Just
Yeah.
flipping, dude. All these
Immediately.
plants.
Is at this point in the movie where my notes started changing and I have nothing but questions.
Like he gets captured and he's like, I'll tell you what you want to know. Like, this isn't necessary. And then they're like, where's the Malibu? He's like, oh, I don't know where that is. And the chick's like, well, I don't really believe you. So she fucking zaps his ass. And she's like, I'm sorry, I have to torture you, Otto. So she's like, fucking electrocutes him and shit. Then out of nowhere, the fucking Rodriguez brothers and Marlene show up
Dude, what?
with fucking Uzis and shit, and they rescue Otto
Out
Like-
of a CIA
out of
like
the CIA like
building.
fucking safe house and shit. It's like, what the fuck? Like, why are the Rodriguez brothers helping? Like, I get Marlene because Otto helped her, and like she's
Repo.
part of the same crew. But like, why are the Rodriguez brothers helping him? I don't fucking know. But
'Cause
they rescue
Rep-
his ass.
Because
Repo
even
people.
though they're rival repo men, they're all still repo men.
That
Yeah.
was cool.
That was-
Very
that was what I thought.
unexpected.
Yeah. Like the repo stay together, but they have beef within each other.
Then they go on undercover as doctors because then they're gonna go rescue Bud.
Yeah.
Why did they need to go undercover just to go to the hospital?
I have no idea
Because the CIA is looking for him.
Oh,
Oh,
no. It's and it says you hear it
yeah,
over.
true.
You hear it over the loudspeaker. It says visiting hours are over.
Mm.
oh,
So they
I
go
thought-
as doctors, so they don't look like regular people.
Damn, I thought it was just because the CIA were looking for him.
I couldn't pinpoint why the fuck they did that. I was like, what
There's
the hell?
Like from this point on, it gets kind of wild. So I I was just asking questions as well.
Yeah.
They go to Bud and he's just all quiet. It's because Otto's like, my bad for running, dude. And Buzz doesn't even like acknowledge it.
Yeah.
They're like, well, fuck this. The CIA's here. They got to get out of here. They dip out. They end up back at the lot. The priest is there for some reason.
The televangelist.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
televangelist is there. The fucking Malibu's like bright neon green. It's like glowing.
And Bud is inside of it.
And Bud is inside of it. Yeah, he's all like he's being all weird in his fucking
Yeah.
gown. And I guess for that scene, that's not CGI. They just painted it with reflective paint. The 3M reflected paint. I
Yeah.
was like, that's cool.
Nice.
Like, damn, that's what that looks like. It looked wild. I was like, at first I wrote
Yeah, it
down,
looks
I'm like,
pretty
this
cool.
is some shitty ass CGI. And then when I read that it wasn't CGI, I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I guess it was cheaper because it was only like $600 a can.
$600 for a bucket. Yeah.
A bucket. Dude, did you guys like catch the audio of the guns in the stairwell scene? The CIA agents, it sounded like they had laser blasters from like
Oh,
Star Wars.
Yeah. We forgot you skipped over the
Oh yeah, their
gunfight.
escape. Yeah, that's right. They the Rodriguez brothers, Marlene and Otto.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They start blasting his head, but then they get captured, right?
No, they all escape. Everybody escapes.
Oh yeah, they do escape. Oh, and then they ditch Otto and they're like, bye bye, boy. And they like
Mhm.
drive away. They didn't even stop for him that time.
Yeah, because Otto's
Like, what
stealing
happened?
another car.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Then they end up at the repo lot. How did Bud get back there so fast?
Dude.
He's
And why
Bud.
was it raining ice cubes? And why did the ice cubes
Oh,
all of
yeah.
us? It's like they ran out of ice cubes mid shoot.
Well, because you hear it on the radio when he's driving, like the news is like, oh, a spontaneous ice cube hailstorm is
Yeah.
happening in like one specific part in LA. Oh, maybe Bud's the one who stole the Malibu
hmm
from
I think
the
that's what
repo
it
lot.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he knew where it was stashed.
hmm
He goes back, it's glowing green. The helicopter is flying around with like a sniper. They're like, put the gun down. This is your last warning. And they just fucking light him,
They
Bud. They just
light him
fucking
up.
burn him up, dude.
What does Bud think he's gonna do? Like versus a helicopter with like sniper inside of it. He like steps out thinking he's gonna be cool. And they immediately just like light him up. He's
Maybe
just gone.
just all tripped out from the radiation sickness.
Oh,
Yeah, because
maybe.
then the CIA people try to like go close to the car and the televangelist, and like a lightning bolt comes out and like burns his
Yeah.
Bible.
hmm
And then it has like a force field, like it won't let anybody go in. And then Miller, the mechanic, just walks up to it and like opens the door.
Yep.
And then
He's all-
Otto's like entranced by it.
Yeah, and then
Then he-
Miller asks him if he wants to take a ride, right?
Yeah.
And then
And he's
this
like-
is where Layla's like, what about our relationship?
And he's like, "What?" He's like, "What about our relationship?" He's like, "Fuck that." And then he leaves with Otto and it turns into a spaceship and they just fly away.
It reminded me of the ending of Grease.
It is like Grease.
Yeah, it is kind of exactly like Grease.
That's the end of the movie.
The life of a repo man is always intense.
That
That's
shit was
it.
weird. The ending from like that liquor store shootout to the end, because like I paused it to use the restroom right after when they get to I think the hospital or the CIA place, and there's like 10 minutes left in the movie.
Yeah.
Like he just got captured and there's 10 minutes left. Like what the fuck? Like how does this movie end? Like the ending is so fast.
Yeah, a lot happens.
A lot happens. It was
Too
cool.
much happens. Too much happens in a short amount of time.
Yeah, because it's kind of a slow burn up into that part, and then it just ends really fast.
Yeah.
Like it climaxes immediately, and it goes way further than I thought it was gonna go.
So it gets our interesting facts. I think we said a lot of them during the movie,
Fire 'em
but
up. Boom, 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 boom.
so I guess the
I got
movie
a couple.
had a budget of 1.5 million and it made 3.7, which isn't much.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, the repo was worth 20 grand. That's $60,000 in today's money.
Yeah.
I guess the movie was supposed to be a satire on the Reagan administration, consumerism, and the atomic age.
Hmm.
It's a very Cold
Okay,
War
like-
movie.
Radiation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
radiation and the government, they kind of just do whatever the fuck they want in this movie. One of
Yeah.
those Matt said about Bud, he's very like consumer forward.
hmm
Yeah.
I like that. This movie was like considered the best film of 1984.
That is kind
Really?
of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other movies came out that year?
Literally just this movie.
Oh shit!
No,
It
I'm
was a terrible year for movies.
I don't know.
I read that the Chevy Malibu that they got was like pristine, like really expensive, and that it actually got stolen on set.
Yeah.
And
So they have to get a
it's kind
second
of
one.
one of those life imitating art moments where it's a movie about stealing that car or like repoing that car and it ended up getting stolen.
Yeah.
So and then they got a second Malibu because they're like, shit, we only had the one.
Yeah.
And then they got the other one back. The cops found it, but then they crashed the. I think Stanton crashed the Malibu into like a gas pump. So in the scene when they're at the gas station, you could see
Yeah.
one of the gas pumps is all fucked up.
Damn, I thought that
Fucking
was
dude.
part of the movie.
No, that was him crashed into it.
That's hilarious.
Stanton, man. That dude's wild.
1984 Dune came out. The original Dune.
Damn.
Children of the Corn,
What?
Terminator, Gremlins.
What? Terminator is way better than this movie.
This was the best movie that came out that year.
This was the best movie that
I
came out
call
that
cap.
year. Chud
I
came
don't know
out.
what that is.
Damn. Chud? You don't know Chud?
You didn't know Chud?
I like Gremlins. That's a
Toxic
good movie.
Avenger came out during this
That's
time.
another- That's another cool. They have a lot of cool classics came out this year.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
They're redoing that with Peter
What?
Dinklage.
Ghostbusters?
hmm
They're doing what?
Toxic Avenger.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, with the Dinklage.
Yeah.
The Dinkinator.
OG Dinky.
OG Dinky.
I don't know where that came out of. Purple Rain. A lot of movies came out during this time.
Purple Rain.
And this movie, Beverly Hills Cop, this movie was considered one of the best movies
Who said
at
that?
that time.
Was it Ebert?
Oh, my boy Ebert gave it 3 stars.
Let me
God
see.
damn.
I don't know if I said this while we were recording or if we did it in pre-production, but Michael Nesmith, one of the executive producers, was one of the monkeys, and he's the one
Yeah.
that gave the last money deal for it to be able to be made.
Nice. Saw that Emilio Estevez's agent didn't want him to take this movie because he didn't want him to take like small roles. He thought the movie was too small for him.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, when did The Breakfast Club come out?
I think the year after or the year before.
The Breakfast Club is what really made him like I feel become famous. I could be wrong though. I don't know if he was like a child actor.
Yeah, he was good in that one. This movie really made me dislike him. It's
85.
probably because of the character, but
Ah, dude, Otto is
Yeah.
such an unlikable character.
Yeah. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he fucking sucks.
Like all the other characters I think were better than him. And like they have better like quotes. I didn't really
Yeah.
like Otto too much.
Otto's fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Twan's. Should we hop into our reviews?
yeah.
All right. So, Rotten Tomatoes, into our reviews. Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie a 98%.
Hell yeah.
Really?
98%. Out of all the movies that we covered in the past week, after we saw the trailer for this one, I did not see 98%. It's based on like 41 reviews, and then IMDb gives it a 6.8. This movie is not 2% less than good than Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah. No way.
Yeah.
But let's get into our reviews. Say, why don't you start us off this week?
I give this movie a C plus. I think it has the bones of like a really fun movie. I think maybe back in the day it was more funny. I mean, I think the quotable lines are probably like the funniest thing. The main character is kind of an asshole. Don't really like him. The whole like alien subplot that's going on, I thought that was really cool. But I don't know. I couldn't. I found myself like getting distracted during this movie because I just wasn't really into it. Um, I think I wanted to like this movie a little bit more, and I think I could see like specific times when I did, but yeah, it didn't hit for me. This one's a C plus. It's got to be a no for me, dog.
A C plus. What about you, Twan?
Yeah, the pacing of this movie is trash. There's so many filler scenes and like unimportant dialogue that don't really add anything to the movie itself. Uh, I kept wanting it to come to a conclusion. Like I kept wanting it to end, even though it's not that long of a movie. It's what, let's see,
It's an hour and a half,
an
I
hour
think.
and a half.
Yeah.
This is an hour and
It's
a
a
half,
long
and
it's a
it
long hour and a half.
feels like 3 hours. Like it's nowhere near as fun as fucking like Dread, where that hour and a half fucking flew by. This is just a slog of a fucking film in my eyes. The acting was terrible. Emilio Estevez, goddamn dude. I used to kind of like him. This movie made me dislike him so much. Um, and I don't know, maybe it's because of the character, but yeah, a lot of scenes didn't make sense. I don't know if I would recommend this movie to anyone. Uh, um, but yeah, the one positive that I have for this movie is that it was filmed in LA, and I love watching films that are filmed in LA because I'm like, oh shit, I know that area. It's kind of cool to point out. But yeah, I gave this movie an F. I thought
F.
I I
Disliked it more than the Fifth Element.
I disliked it more than The Fifth Element. I disliked it more than Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Ooh, I forgot about that movie. This movie made me forget about Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, I think it's my first F. I did not like this movie at all.
Nice. No, I'm glad we got in it. We're all pretty like. I feel like our scores are usually within a point or two of each other most of the time we watch a movie. So I think this is interesting.
Yeah.
So my score is definitely closer to Matt's. I give this movie a C. C at times bordering on a C plus. I do agree with a lot of points you made though, Twan, and with you, Matt. Like this movie feels like a long hour and a half, but there are aspects of this movie that I really like. I thought everything other than Otto was cool. Like I thought Bud was a cool character. The alien thing and the scientist guy was cool. The little like alien backdrop was interesting, but like the punk part of it, I wasn't like super into all that much. Layla, I thought was terrible in this movie. Emilio Estevez is a fucking scumbag in this movie. Could not stand Emilio Estevez in this movie. He was terrible, dude. He was a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
I like Emilio Estevez too. I just feel like his acting wasn't that great in this movie. I think Bud was probably the only one. Bud and like the other Repo people had like
Yeah.
a good chemistry and scenes when they were all together,
Yeah.
like kind of shooting the shit. I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. And then scenes where it was primarily Bud, I thought were pretty sweet. Everything else though, I was like, this is okay. Like, would I recommend it if you're really into like 80s sci-fi? Like you really like that style of movie and you like this type of shit, then sure, give it a watch. But other than that, I don't know. It's goofy. It hasn't aged well. I think it's goofy in a bad way sometimes. But I thought the story, like the idea of the movie was solid. Just the execution of it was not very good. So I give it
Yeah.
a C. It's like a middle of the road for me. Like I didn't love it. I didn't hate it.
I feel
Yeah.
like this movie could be remade better. Like
Yeah.
like you were saying, like the story's there. Like it could be really good. Like the premise and everything. But yeah, the execution was
Lacking.
yeah, it was poor.
Yeah, it had good bones. It was just I don't know, like it could definitely be better developed. Like they could have picked one of the specific like side stories that are going on other than like him being a repo man and developed that a little bit more and it would have been cool. Like to know more about like the aliens and all that shit, like that would have been dope to like
Yeah.
go a little bit more into, but I feel like they try to cram so much in this that it just got like really messy. And like
Especially
that
at the end.
and the end like happens in Like I think Dale said, like it happens in like 5-10 minutes. Like it's like so fast, so much happens in that last point. That it yeah. I'd also try to think of like other movies during that time that came out that were like better. And I think we mentioned it before of like They Live. They
Yeah.
Live came out a year after this, and it's also like a sci-fi. And I feel like that sci-fi did such a better job of being a sci-fi than this one.
Yeah, so we got a C plus, a C, and an F. I think if you rounded all our grades together, it's probably like a C minus. So
Yeah, I think if there was more sci-fi elements and less like of the punk stuff that really served no purpose to the movie.
yeah, the punk stuff was dumb. I like the repo. The repo scenes were cool. The sci-fi was cool. I don't understand the punk thing.
What did your boy Ebert have to say about this?
Ebert gave it 3 stars.
What would
You
he
know what I mean?
what he say?
So Roger Ebert gave this film 3 stars out of 4 and wrote, I saw Repo Man near the end of a busy stretch on the movie beat. 3 days during which I saw more relentlessly bad movies than during any comparable period in memory. Most of those bad movies were so cynically constructed out of formula ideas and commercial ingredients that watching them was an ordeal. Repo Man comes out of left field, has no big stars, didn't cost much, takes chances, and dares to be unconventional. It's funny and works. This is a lesson here.
A lesson in what? How to make bad movies?
Yep. All right. Did we will it? Will it and deal it?
Yell it
We'll
up.
see.
You want to shuffle it?
Shuffle it again? I'm down.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Will it be 3 for 3 on the Twan hate list with the will this week? See what happens.
It's a horror, like a horror movie.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It's crazy. Our biggest scores have all come with animated films.
We've seen some pretty good animated films.
Heavy metal.
Attack
Only
of the
Dynamite.
Killer Clowns,
Repo
Repo Genetic Opera. The Waking
Walking.
Life.
Waking Life.
All right, guys. So we are going to be watching the animated film Waking Life. This movie looks like a fucking trip. So thank you all for joining us this week as we covered Repo Man, the 1984 sci-fi classic, some claim.
Banger.
Just a quick reminder, if you guys want to support the pod, you can donate by clicking the support link at the bottom of every episode. We really appreciate it. All proceeds go to producing the pod, paying for the various softwares that we use in order to keep the pod going. If you can't donate, that's totally cool. We love making the pod. Make it for you guys. Enjoy having you guys come and listen to us every week. If you haven't given us a follow on our social medias, you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Threads, and X/Twitter. As always, I have been your host, The Dale, followed by my 2 co-hosts, Mr. Saya
Thank you guys.
and Twan.
Bye.
See you guys next week. Bye.
Love you.